How does it feel when people say the Lakers are the Lakers because of you, because of what you did as a player, and because of what you did as the general manager, the top executive in all of basketball? How do you feel when people pay those compliments to you?
Well, Jim, it's very humbling, but obviously people have a way of going beyond reality sometimes. It was an incredible journey for me to not only play 14 years for one team, but more importantly, have an opportunity to work for the late Jerry Buss as an executive. And those were special times for me. We had an awful lot of people that were have played in Los Angeles that have historic brands. Some of the greatest iconic players in NBA history have been there. And frankly, I've got a chance to know all of them. I got a chance to play with some of them. And now I get to watch another iconic player in LeBron James, as all Laker fans do.
You know, Jerry, is really amazing because you got so many players to come here. You just got to be talking about LeBron coming here. You're responsible for Kareem and Magic and Shaq, and the list goes on and on. You're responsible for Pat Riley becoming the head coach here, for Phil Jackson being the head coach here. People are saying, how in the world did he do it? You must have had a special gift that from the basketball gods that allowed you to do these things.
Yeah, Jim, again, I think my role in all this has really been overplayed. As I say, there's some great things that happened there. I think the best thing is the people you work with, how you want to be treated. And you need an owner that is going to give you the ability to create kind of a family environment. The Lakers were a very small organization when I was there. And obviously when they moved into a different building, it wasn't their own building. Going from there from the Forum to the Staples Center, which was my last year, it was just remarkable how things have changed over a period of time. But those were the most formative years of my life. I had people along the way who were very generous to me and helping me, and particularly three ladies: the late Mary Lou Levy, the late Joan McLaughlin, and also Clara Rothman. And those people were very instrumental in helping me. And to think that three women in a male-dominated sport could tell me what to do and tell me when to shut up and call me all kind of bad names. But it was a great learning experience for me because I didn't have any experience with, being a manager. And I don't like that word at all. To me, you don't manage people, you work with people. But it was a great time for me, and I learned so much, and particularly with Jerry Buss. He was just the best of the best, and he had a great way about him. I've always said he appealed to everyone, and working for him was, my goodness, a dream come true. I will never forget those days there as a player, and I will never forget my days there as an executive. And his franchise is at this point in time, I guess, it's hard to compare any franchise to this franchise because I was there in 1960 when they got there, and to watch it where it is today is just remarkable.
You know, Jerry, I've heard other players say they've won championships in other places, but when they win a championship with the Lakers, it is entirely different. What is it about winning a championship with the Lakers that makes it entirely different and better than other teams?
Well, Jim, I think anytime you play in a big city, and particularly a city like Los Angeles, which is so diverse, there's so much going on here, so many different people of all nationalities, so many different languages. But for some reason, if you look at these iconic players that have been there, and Irvin Johnson, my goodness, he was like the Pied Piper. People just loved to watch him play. His personality was so infectious. And fans become attracted to players like that. And they play at such a high level. But I think the most important thing about it, Jim, is that you can come to those people and you'll see the very same person is playing basketball. Then Kobe Bryant, my goodness, same kind of appeal, completely different personality than him. And to have two players like that have this, I always call a little extra gold dust sprinkled on them. There's something about them that captures the imagination of everyone. And then look at Abdul-Jabbar. Everyone talks about great players. Jim, he might be the greatest player to ever played if people want to get into it. My goodness, there are just so many of them. You look up there, those retired jerseys, Elgin Baylor, James Worthy, who never got the credit because he played with such incredible players. And you're going to have LeBron James. You're going to have Anthony Davis before his career. And if Rich Paul keeps it up, he'll have the whole All-Star team playing for the Lakers pretty soon. And again, it's about relationships. And I think that's one of the things that the Lakers have done for years, maintain incredible relationships with agents and the people that are fans for them. They seem to have that appeal, and it's never going to go away. And you look at all the championship banners that they won here in Los Angeles and the ones they won in Minneapolis. It's an iconic franchise, frankly, probably second to none.
And of course, there's that extra special honor and tribute paid to you by having your picture of you becoming the logo of the NBA. Now that's big time right there.
Well, Jim, it happened by accident, and it's not something I really enjoy talking about because it was picked out of 5 images of players and no one knew who they were. And for some reason, I was selected. No one knew who these players were. And it finally, there was an article in the New York Times that came out, and honestly, I wish they didn't know who the logo was. It would make it a lot easier because a lot of players and people would say, why don't make this guy the logo, that guy the logo. But to know that's my name, obviously it's hard to believe.
Jerry, what would you consider your greatest achievement as a Laker player?
Oh my goodness, Jim. I don't know if I had a greatest achievement at all. My career was filled with frustration, losing in the finals so many times, and particularly with the teammates that I was close to, and particularly Elgin and Baylor. To get so close and be so disappointed, Jim. Even today, sometimes I think back, I have dreams about a ball bouncing here, a ball bouncing there. And I thought there were 2 times in our career, in my career, that we had the best team and we didn't win. And maybe it was the best individuals. I don't know, but those were issues in my life that I've never gotten over, to be honest with you, and I never will. It's just, and I think that's what has always driven me. I've hated to lose. You want to be part of something special, but you want to be involved with special people. And throughout my life, I have been involved with special people. And for everyone I've been involved with, thank you for putting up with my craziness. Because going to bed at night, the only thing that consumed me was winning. And there was a lot of times you go to bed and you didn't feel very good about things that had gone on because you felt you had a better team. But I think what you have to do, you have to give other people credit. You just can't go out there and say, I'm going to roll the ball out here and win. Will, intelligence, and effort. You've got great talent. You get those 3 elements, you're going to have a chance to win all the time, and particularly when you're really focused on one particular team during the playoff.
And another couple of things, Jerry, and that is the Lakers always got involved in the community. Whenever there was something that was going on, good or bad, you made sure that the Lakers were involved in the community, not only as athletes, but as citizens who were helping to give back.
Well, I think it was a big part of Jerry Buss, to be honest with you. He was, if you would come to games, we had everyone coming to games, celebrities and everyone. He had developed a relationship with so many people, and the minority communities have always embraced the Lakers. And, if there's some big event going on outside the Staples Center when something really good has happened, or in the case of Kobe Bryant, the throngs of people, and you look at that people, it represented everyone in the city of Los Angeles. And it's just part of the legacy. I think Jerry Buss left here. Jeannie Buss has continued that legacy because she knew how important it was to the city. But more importantly, for the Lakers to give Jim, that's a very, very positive thing.
And of course, this city has a different glow a different look to it when the Lakers win championships. And just look at the parades that the Lakers have had here, and other teams have won, but there's nothing like a Laker championship.
Now, I remember when Prince was alive and popular, Purple Rain, okay? I thought at that point in time, that was the most apropos song maybe there was. And it was just unique times when you see these young people come to a franchise and they grow up and they stay with the same franchise and they produce, and they have so many people following them through the ups and downs. But at the end of the year, the Lakers have always been special.
Jerry, when you think back upon what you've done as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, what are some of the thoughts that come to your mind? Because you have, it reminds me of my favorite saying by Dr. King, and I've said it many times. The saying is, giving back to your fellow mankind is one of the most noble things that anyone can do. And then when I think about that, I think about Jerry West, because look at all the noble things you've done as a player, as an executive, and just giving back to your fellow mankind and community.
Well, Jim, I've always tried to do that privately, to be honest with you. And certainly I wish I had made mega dollars that I could do more for the city of Los Angeles, and particularly in the minority community. It really troubles me to see the disadvantage, in many cases disenfranchised minorities that we have. Everyone needs a level playing field, Jim, to get ahead in this world today. There's some young kid out there with someone to just take their hand, put them around him and say, hey, look, we're going to put you through this. We're going to give you this. We want you to really concentrate on doing something positive for your life. And I just got a call today from a gentleman who used to work as a security guard where I live. He had retired and moved to Mississippi. He'd been down there for a few years, and he just got carjacked, and he got shot 4 times, and he's dead. And I said to myself, my God, this is one of the nicest men ever. And I'm going to find some way to help his family. People mean a lot to me, Jim, more than people will ever know. The people that I really care about, I will go to the end of the earth to try to help or help make a difference. There's other people that sometimes you just don't see things the same way. And I think when you're competitive, Jim, and particularly once you've retired from, playing and also running a team firsthand, you think about ways that you can help people. And at West Virginia University, which has been the charity of my choice, the biggest charity of my choice, there's a lot of things there that kids can do to get better. 3 different scholarship funds there that I'm very proud of. Also a part of a learning center. My brother David West got killed in Korea. There's part of a learning center there that kids can go in. There's like 60 computers in there, and there's instructors or tutors, if you might, to try to help them if they're having a problem with classes. I'm very proud of those things. And I honestly wish I could do more. And I'm going to try to find a way to do more, particularly in the city of Los Angeles here, and particularly this year. There's something I want to do, and I'm working on it right now that will go unnoticed. But I don't even like talking about it. I like giving to young kids that maybe help make a difference in their lives and steer them in a path that maybe they were never going to get on.